All right, so this is day 2 of the Wild Horse and Burro adoption event in Swanzey, New Hampshire. So despite the rain, there was still a pretty big turnout yesterday. So a lot of Mustangs got to go home. I got to meet many of the adopters, which is pretty cool. So these are the remaining horses, some that have already been adopted and are waiting for pickup, and others that are available. So yesterday I got a question about defining some of the terms around Mustang. So I figured today I would talk a little bit more about how to adopt a Mustang and some terms and the lingo in the Mustang world. All right, so this is your first stop here. Before you can adopt a Mustang, you have to meet these adoption requirements. So requirements around like the fencing height, the trailer, shelter, depending on the region. And then adopters would have to fill out an application and just talk a little bit about their setup, what they have, etc. Mustangs, on the left side of the neck, they have a brand, and this brand provides information about the horse. And this, I'm gonna steal this. This is the signalment codes for describing the animals. So I'm gonna steal this and a sticker. But this would be your first stop when you adopt, is coming to this table here. All right, so if you showed up to one of these adoption events and filled out an application, you would schedule an appointment to pick up. Now, if you know you're coming ahead of time, do that in advance, at least for the Northeastern States District. That's what they do, scheduled adoption events. And actually, this event is also a pickup. So 3 months ago, there was an online corral, which is a type of auction. So yeah, the online corral is one of the ways you can adopt a wild Mustang. It's a week-long event, and you do an application first, you get approved to adopt, and then you can bid on the horse during this auction. But it gives people a chance to see ahead of time, especially if they're looking for something in particular. So after the auction, you finish the paperwork and you pick a pickup site. So there was a list of pickup sites, including this location here. So some of the Mustangs were shipped here for the Northeastern adopters. So looking at these pens, they are pretty empty, but we're gonna take a look and see what's left. And I'm also gonna show you a little bit more about what is on these clipboards. All right, so it looks like we've got another one loading. Go home. All right, so the setup at these facilities, they have pens along the way, and they usually divide the genders, ages, that sort of thing. All right, so on pen 1, we see a list of horses here. So this neck tag, this number is the last 4 digits of the Freeze brand. It's on the left side of the horse's neck, as you can see right there. And that Freeze brand, again, gives information about their date of, or year of birth, and information on where they were processed, etc. All right, so this information also provides their age, color, which isn't always accurate, where they're captured. And then this SE stands for sale eligible. So sale eligible Mustangs are Mustangs that are available for sale, meaning that the ownership passes immediately from the federal government to the buyer, which is different than adopting a Mustang, where the Mustang comes as untitled, which I'll talk about in a second. So this Mustang right here is sale eligible. He's a 5-year-old gray gelding available for sale. So a sale eligible Mustang is either a Mustang that is older than 10 years old, which is not the case for this guy, or it's been offered for adoption at least 3 times, so it has 3 strikes against it. Some of you might have heard of a 3-strike Mustang, and it was not adopted during the times that it was offered for adoption. So then they move on to becoming a sale eligible Mustang, and sale eligible Mustangs can be purchased for $25. So yeah, this guy is sale eligible. He's had at least 3 strikes against him. Some of the Mustangs here have actually had as many as 11 strikes. The BLM posted a spreadsheet with information on their Facebook page, and it showed how many strikes were against some of these Mustangs here. So I don't know, I would have to look and see what he had. This mare right here was one on the online corral. So her adopter participated in the online auction a few months ago and chose this as a pickup site. And this horse is here and available. Now she's available for adoption. She's not marked as sale eligible. So she has not yet participated in 3 adoption events. So she would be adopted as an untitled Mustang. So when you adopt an untitled Mustang, the Mustang is the property of the federal government for the first year. So you cannot sell your Mustang. I'll continue to talk more about that, but first let's pause to watch the sorting and loading process that was about to happen. So it looks like they're gonna hold her in here until she loads up. So they were about to sort out a second horse that would be loading on the same trailer with her. All right, and it looks like they might be getting a second one to load up on that same trailer.
I need the large one in the middle. Okay.
All right, then we'll put two in the aisle.
There you are. Good job.
All right, looks like these two are gonna load up together. So as I was saying earlier, when you adopt an untitled Mustang like this one right here, they are the property of the government. So during that 1 year as an untitled Mustang, you cannot sell a BLM Mustang. When that year is up, you can apply for the title. And part of that process is bringing out a veterinarian or a BLM authorized individual to come and inspect your animal. So they look at the horse's overall health quality, and then they also read that brand picture. It is indeed the same horse. And you can apply for that title, at which point the ownership moves to you. So these Mustangs are all sale eligible. And again, these are pretty young, so they've been offered for adoption numerous times and have been unadopted. So this is the last 20 minutes of this New Hampshire adoption event, and pens are looking pretty empty right now, but there are still a few more horses. I cannot believe that this girl in the back there is still available. She is, oh my goodness, I love her. Love her. She's been more nervous of the bunch, so she's still eligible. So I was chatting with the driver. So the BLM contracts with a company to ship the horses. The driver is here, and he's said that they're leaving tomorrow. These Mustangs will go back to the Ewing, Illinois facility, and they'll be available for adoption there, or they might get sent to another adoption event. Let me tell you, it is so hard to be at an adoption event like this and not adopting. I'm only 3 hours away, so of all the adoption events, this is like the best one for me to adopt. However, I already have 4 Mustangs, and it would be self-sabotage to get another. I simply cannot afford it. And that's the big thing. It's not the $25. It's like the amount, even just shipping a horse home, and then you pay for all the things. So it's a lot. That is one of the things that you need to consider when you're adopting a Mustang is, can you afford it? Especially if you're just starting, you'll have to like get a facility. So maybe it's panels, maybe you have another solid fence, but that stuff can be really pricey. They are still regular horses. Just because they're cheap doesn't make them any less valuable. So you have to be prepared for the unprepared. Additionally, I will say that it is important that you are ready to adopt personally. So do you understand horse behavior? Do you understand how horses learn? Concepts of pressure release, drive line. Maybe you want to get into positive reinforcement. Learning all different tools in the toolbox is super important, and also learning how to keep things calm, how to prevent things from escalating, and when to put pressure, when to not. I have a video on questions to ask before you adopt a Mustang, so definitely check that out if you're wanting to adopt a Mustang someday. But it is a learning journey. It will change you. So another thing to consider in your financial plan is, what if you need help? What if you need to pull in a trainer? So I think the Mustang community tends to be really welcoming as a whole. If you get stuck, there are definitely people who will step in and help you, but having some money set aside, so if you do need to help with a trainer, maybe it's a virtual call, maybe it's online coaching, maybe it's having a trainer come out to your facility, or maybe it is actually sending a horse to a trainer. But you have to keep in mind, it's not just about the horse, it's also about you and your journey. Along with the Mustang, it's so important for you to be growing and learning too. You're precious. This event is done. they're gonna start packing up. These horses will be heading back to Illinois from here in New Hampshire. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you probably at another adoption event sometime. I never know my schedule. I'm really flying by the seat of my pants most of the time. So thanks for watching. Bye.